Do you know that if you're using non-sugar substitutes, you might actually be getting fatter and sicker in the long run? My name is Dr. Brooke Goldner from Goodbye Lupus, and that's exactly what the National Institute of Health is saying. They have reviewed studies from all over the world looking at the effects of non-sugar substitutes. I'll read some examples here that you might be aware of. So things like acesulfame, K-aspartame, neotame, saccharin, sucralose, and even stevia and stevia derivatives. What they found from the review is that, one, there's no benefit to human health switching from sugar to these non-sugar substitutes. Also, what they found is that people who were using the non-sugar substitutes actually ended up with more issues, more obesity, more diabetes, more cardiovascular disease, and more mortality. So not only are they not getting better, they're actually getting sicker overall. And so the recommendations from the World Health Institute, Francesco Branca, who's the Director of Health and Food Safety for the World Health Organization, is saying that really as soon as possible, as young as possible, you want to get off of added sugar and these non-sugar substitutes and instead use natural foods like fruits for sweetness. There's another problem here that they didn't address, which is why I always have recommended in my clients that they stop using these non-sugar substitutes, is that it has to do with the brain and addiction. So when you eat something like sugar, especially real sugar, you get this release of dopamine to your brain, and that's a reward chemical. And that reward is a lot higher than the reward we're supposed to get from maybe eating a salad, right? Broccoli doesn't trigger that dopamine in the same way. And so when we get used to that, the brain comes to associate that when you eat something sweet, it's going to get a reward. Now, if you switch from sugar to a non-sugar substitute, you're getting the sweet flavor, but your brain doesn't get the reward. So what does the brain do? It increases the cravings and tells you to have more. I didn't feel it yet. I didn't feel it yet. Have more, have more. And so what's happening is people are getting the sweet flavor. They're not feeling excited and happy the way they did before. And so they tend to eat more, which is going to lead to more obesity, more heart disease, more diabetes. So in the long run, eating those non-sugar substitutes can actually increase people's cravings for sweetness and make people overeat even more than they did before. What I have found is that when you stop eating that junk, it takes about a couple weeks where the cravings get worse. And you're like, food tastes like shapes. I'm not enjoying anything, right? But by the end of 4 weeks, people usually stop having those cravings if they haven't given in. And the great news is that once you do that, you start getting the health benefits as well. So for example, I see the same issue when people switch from diets that are processed foods and animal products into eating healthy plant foods because they're trying to get healthy. For the first month or so, food might not taste that good to them. And then suddenly it tastes delicious. And not only do they no longer crave the bad stuff, but they can reverse those diseases that are happening from eating even the non-sugar substitutes. They reverse the obesity and they get their fitness levels up with exercise and nutrition that helps them lose weight. They reverse the heart disease, they reverse the diabetes, and even can reverse autoimmune diseases. I'm lupus-free 18 years now because I switched from eating animal-based diet with lots of processed food to my hyper-nourishing plant-based diets, right? So in the meantime, do what you can. Take out the sugar, the added sugar, and the non-sugar substitutes. If you're gonna go for something sweet, let it be fruit, and learn everything you can. I love to teach people how to eat to heal. I want to give back the health that I was given. If you go to goodbyelupus.com, you can learn all about it and get some recipes. So whatever you do, get rid of the junk, start eating healthier. I'm gonna grab my green smoothie. Cheers to your health.